Hello everyone and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Omnia. And in this video I'm going to be going back to the Xande LUFENIA with a party of Vivi, Sherlotta and Amidatelion, with an Amidatelion friend and a Diabolos summon. So I did say in my previous video that I was going to be going back to this one with a party that didn't have a burst weapon and didn't have any boosted characters. Unfortunately this is a very difficult quest to do under those conditions, especially because most of the strongest characters that are out now are the ones that do have burst weapons. Now I know I could bring along someone like Lightning, for example, who doesn't have I could bring along someone like Lightning and not use her actual burst. However, I'm actually going to be taking this very literally and bringing a team that doesn't have a burst weapon or any sort of boosted synergy. So it's pretty much going to be a pure DPS race, and Vivi is absolutely perfect for this. In fact, if I didn't know better, I would almost say that Vivi was practically made for this, and I do know that there were a bunch of people that had played the Japanese version who saw that upon Vivi's release, based on what he did, that he was going to be excellent for the Xande LUFENIA. So this is kind of going to be a little bit of a Vivi showcase, to be honest, because it is going to be reliant almost entirely upon his damage output that is going to allow us to complete this before the enemies in the second wave blow us up. So without further ado, let's jump into it and see how we go. So on the one of the kind of things that sucks about this is because the enemies on the second wave are so resistant to so many elements, it kind of screws us out of bringing along Kurasame. Now you can actually bring him, but he is going to be heavily resisted on the second wave. And he is practically going to be doing like no bravery damage whatsoever. You're going to be relying on regen and battery from Amidatelion to actually do anything worth a shit. So instead I figured it would be a lot easier to bring along Sherlotta, because at least with her batteries and her like turn stalling, she can actually contribute to the fight in a more meaningful way than pressing buttons and applying a debuff. So on the first wave we're going to be very conservative, and we're just going to save all of our heaviest hitting abilities for the next wave. And we're hopefully going to be using splash damage to take out those guys before they actually get a turn, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit troublesome. So let's use Comet and just pray to the Lord above that this takes them both out on the side, which it does. There we go, excellent. So we really need to basically save all of our heaviest hitting skills, all of our LDs and all of that stuff for the next wave, because that's going to be where it's going to make the biggest difference. Because we don't really have any options in that fight to deal with it with this party. I'm going to HP attack here for some battery for Vivi. We don't really have any options to deal with it other than basically just burst them down, screw them up, and hope for the best. Because if they get a turn, they're going to be spamming Flamethrower, and we're all just going to collapse in a bloody heap on the floor, and it's going to be all she wrote. So yeah, that's what we're trying to avoid here. And of course, because I'm going to be spamming Mega Flare on the next wave, that's why I'm using Comet on this wave. The splash damage also helps to take out the guys on the side. And I am not even going to be using a skill 1 here on Sherlotta. I want to try and save all of these for the next wave, so I'm just going to be doing one of these. Nice skill 1 so that I get some battery into the double fire that I will inevitably be using. If I'm not mistaken, this should be Amidatellion's EX, which it is. So this wave is like, I can understand now why in a lot of LUFENIA quests they've done away with like the trash mobs at the start, because these guys are just honestly really annoying. They literally exist for no other reason than to waste your skills and waste your time. They're annoying and they're irrelevant, and they just really don't need to be here. And as tempting as it would have been to pop a Crystal Idol there, we need all the delays we can get for the next wave. I am not falling into that trap. So that 12k is a rather uncomfortably large number, so I'm going to have to shave that down. So I'm not letting the skill 1 buff drop off, but this will be an EX for Sherlotta. So we're going to have to play it pretty smart with the orb, because as soon as we get into orb turns, then Sherlotta is going to be ticking down the orb a lot more than Kurosami would. So I did actually complete it with the Kurosami party off camera, but I've not actually done it with Sherlotta, so I might actually be making things more difficult for myself by doing it this way. I don't know, but I'm going to find out one way or another, aren't I? So... Ouch. Okay, good. We're out of this. We're out of this first wave. Okay, so I'm on reset number 1 because I got wiped by the very first Flamethrower attack, and I don't quite feel like doing that again. So here we are. Let's go in with Doomsday. Like, I think it's pretty okay to use like 1 Doomsday on the first wave. Or not the first wave rather, but the orbs start out being in play, and then they will be removed when the HP goes below 80%, and then they will come back at 59% and stay there for the rest of the quest. So I think it's okay to use 1 Doomsday at the start, and then we want to save the rest of it for afterwards. So what I am going to be doing here is I am going to be swapping straight out into my Amidatelion friend, and we're going to be laying down the Crystal Idols. We need to create some space between us and the opponents, and of course the best way to do that is absolutely by abusing the LD spammage. And I cannot afford to have Sherlotta's EX buff fall off either, because we need all the damage per turn we can get. Okay, so let's do a fire enchant. Some lovely jubbly area damage, and we need to get Vivi's buffs back up, so we're going to focus. And now I am going to double fire. Actually, am I going to double fire? Yeah, I am. I'm going to double fire on A. So one unfortunate side effect of having Vivi with his passive that applies the poison is that he's going to periodically push off the bloody fire imperil. So that is definitely a thing that can happen. And it is not really what we want to be seeing, but hey, there we go. So on this turn I am actually just going to pop... no, I'm not going to pop Yuki's Ultima. But I am going to pop the Mega Flare, because we want some Brave Shaving, so like every little helps. We need to get the shields down. I should have used the Bravery attack there. Okay, so this is very, very probably going to shave down the shields so we can start doing damage again, and it's pretty much just a straight up DPS race at this point. Excellent, there we go. So even though the orbs have gone down, it's still something of a damage race, because we need to kill them before they get a turn. So I'm actually not even going to. I'm not even going to hold back. I'm just going to go straight in with Doomsday number 2. Because we are pretty close to triggering the threshold. As soon as we get to 59%, that'll be it. So let's Mega Flare on A because we did one on B. Lovely jubbly. And yeah. Let's keep going. Let's not let everything fall off. There. Okay, right. Shields are going to come out now, I believe. Oh no, no they're not. Okay, fine. Fine. Let's Yukish Ultima so we don't waste skills. That's what I like to see. Can commence with the LDs on our Amidatelion now. Excellent. Okay, so at this point, I am pretty much just going to stall for as long as possible until either B's about to get a turn or the orbs are too janky, and then I'm going to pop the summon and then pop my last LD, like more or less at the same time, yeah. That's how we're going to play this. Yeah, let's just Mega Flare while we're outside of summon. Let's do one of these. Okay, so it's about that time for us to be going into summon. To be honest, you can see the orbs are getting very low indeed. So let's just pop this meteor so we don't waste it. And let's go. Okay, excellent. Crystal Idol. Juicy launch. I'm going to be hitting B with a bravery attack here with Sherlotta, so we can just get the orb up that much more. But I am going in for the launch. I think the damage is worth it much more than the orb count. The amount of HP damage we're going to do here with this launch is just going to be absolutely cataclysmic, which is what I like to see. There we go. Now it's just a matter of killing these guys before the timer runs out. Now Sherlotta doesn't exactly help with that, because she has to waste turns getting her EX buff back up, but she does a lot of damage too on her turns, so... As we can see. Coming down to the wire here, folks. We've got 2 Mega Flares left. We need to make them count. Let's hold staff over here on A, because we can double fire on B. And there we go. That thing's out of the way, and then all that's left to do is ignore the fact that this thing has a huge chunky brave shield that we absolutely need to get rid of, and can't actually ignore because that's really bad. Okay. Operation Spam Focus, let's go. Oh god, this is awful. Fuck. The race is on. This is so scuffed, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. Please, Vivi, get your EX. Oh yeah, it's going to be literally down to the last turn, isn't it? Oh no, not quite, okay. We're about to finish it, okay. HP attack, let's go. There we go. Okay, so that was a little bit tight at the end there, but we certainly managed it. Which means it is possible. Okay. That is going to be my my second clear of the Xande LUFENIA, and yeah, without any burst weapons or any burst characters. So that's going to be that. I hope maybe some of you out there find that helpful. I should imagine that most of you have these characters, so I'm sure you'll be able to make some magic happen if you manage to get it in the right order. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and until the next time, take care and goodbye.